Libya, 2020. A Turkish-built drone called the Kargu 2. A UN Security Council report says it may have tracked down and engaged a human target with zero operator input. The system decided. Pick up any defense headline. You will see three words used like they mean the same thing. AI, unmanned, autonomous. They do not mean the same thing. They do not even ask the same question. There are actually 5 distinct questions hiding inside that terminology. Collapse all 5 into one word, and you get a world where nobody agrees on what just happened or who is responsible for it. By the end of this video, you will be able to answer all 5. First question. Easiest answer. Unmanned means one thing. No human body on the platform. Not who is flying it. Not how it makes decisions. Just crew presence. The MQ-9 Reaper is a drone with a human pilot in a ground control station thousands of miles away, making every targeting decision. Unmanned, not autonomous. Unmanned tells you about the body, nothing about the brain. Unmanned means no human on board. A very sophisticated Roomba technically qualifies. The Air Force would prefer you not call it that. Second question. This is the one most people skip, and it breaks everything. Automation is rule-based, pre-programmed response to a trigger. No learning, no judgment, no adaptation. The system does exactly what it was told when a specific condition is met. A drone's autopilot holds altitude and follows a flight path. It does not decide where the drone is going or why. An autopilot is not AI. It is automation. It will fly your drone directly into a mountain with complete mechanical confidence, having correctly followed every instruction it was given. Mines are the oldest example. A contact mine detonates when triggered by pressure. No sensors, no classification, no targeting logic. Pure trigger response. Automated. And it fires without human input. So why isn't a contact mine regulated as an autonomous weapon? DoD. Directive 3000.09 explicitly exempts mines. They predate the regulatory conversation by centuries, and their engagement logic is considered sufficiently constrained. But smart mines add classification logic to discriminate between target types. More sophisticated, paradoxically safer. The automation got smarter, and the collateral risk went down. Third question. Most misused word in defense. AI is not a category of weapon. It is a capability, completely independent of whether a system is unmanned, automated, or autonomous. It can live anywhere on the spectrum. 3 generations of drone. An FPV drone has no AI. A human-guided projectile with a camera. An AI-enabled loitering munition classifies its own targets using onboard computer vision. A fully autonomous swarm coordinates attack geometry without any human input after launch. Same platform. 3 completely different relationships with AI. Deep Blue evaluated 200 million chess positions per second. Pure calculation, no learning. AlphaZero taught itself to play in 9 hours and produced moves grandmasters had never seen. That gap between calculator and judgment is now being built into weapon systems. Calling something an AI weapon is about as technically precise as calling a car an electric vehicle because it has a clock. Technically accurate, strategically useless. Fourth question, the one that has the policy debate. The DoD definition is precise. An autonomous weapon system is one that, once activated, can select and engage targets without further intervention by a human operator. Not navigate, not stabilize, select and engage. That is the threshold. The DoD framework gives this 3 positions. Human in the loop. A human selects and authorizes each engagement. Human on the loop. The drone selects autonomously, but a human can override. Human out of the loop. The drone selects and engages with no further input after launch. In the loop, on the loop, out of the loop. It sounds like a very serious policy framework devised by people who had just discovered PowerPoint. It is, in fact, the most consequential taxonomy in modern warfare. Most people assume that somewhere in US policy, a human must authorize engagement before an autonomous weapon fires. That requirement does not exist. DoD's directive requires appropriate levels of human judgment over the use of force, what that means, at what point, and who decides. Explicitly left open. Fifth question, the one nobody in the policy debate has fully answered. Layers 1 through 4 are about weapon systems. Layer 5 is about something different, AI systems that do not pull triggers. They build the list of targets a human then approves. A drone with AI-assisted targeting is layers 3 and 4. But an AI system that analyzes feeds, identifies potential targets, and presents a ranked nomination list to a human operator. That is layer 5. The human is nominally in the loop. The question is whether that means anything. Deep Blue was a calculator. Follow its logic if you had time. AlphaZero developed strategies grandmasters could not fully evaluate in real time. When the machine's judgment exceeds the human's ability to meaningfully assess it within the available window, the human is not deciding. They are ratifying. Layer 5 is where the accountability question becomes genuinely unanswerable with the language we currently have. The after-action investigation leads to the algorithm, the programmer, the commander who deployed it, and eventually a very uncomfortable silence. We started with 3 words and a drone that may have fired on its own. There are actually 5 questions. And here is where the terminology failure becomes a strategic one. When something goes wrong, the word we use determines who is responsible. If the platform was unmanned, technology problem. If the automation misfired, engineering problem. If the AI misclassified, development problem. If the autonomous threshold was crossed without authorization, policy problem. If the decision support system generated a bad nomination, a human rubber-stamped, accountability problem. 5 different failures, 5 different responsible parties. 1 word, and we cannot even agree which question it answers. Pick a layer. Which one do you think is most dangerous, and which one are we least prepared to regulate? Drop it below. If you want more breakdowns like this, no noise, just engineering and strategy, hit subscribe. We do weapons systems. Go check out one of our other videos. Remember to like and hit that notification bell. Until the next one, over and out.